Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Ethereum and Bitcoin. As usual, it's been 50 days we've been talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we are discussing about Bitcoin and Ethereum, how the network is going, how the chart is going, and what news are happening in the Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if you guys like to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and give a thumbs up to the like. If you want to know something, you can comment down below. So we've been talking about and discussing the Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's been in 50 days. So you can know a lot of what is happening. You can also watch back to the other live I have streamed. So first of all, we're going to talk about Ethereum. What's happening in first of all, let's take a look to the Ethereum chart. Yeah, and not really. So we continue to see on slow grid, lower or just sideways on the weekend. Really bad. We still expect lower the little bit because not too much happening on the lower time. We can see here price addition on the John lower. Actually, I wanted to show you because as always on network getting a bit of reminder. We have a 5-way move up into the August 22. We have a corrective move down and in a wave too. So we here the next one to see the next one to set up, and now the next one. So we got a chart with full 1-2 setup. That is normally a little bit too much. I did say that before. It is a very sloppy chart. It is 1-2 set more than Bitcoin has. It is not invalid. It's not a disaster, but it just means it is very choppy and sloppy. Really be the last one, and we should really go after this one. If not, then this could easily break down, or it might morph into something where we say, okay, this last 1-2 setup that we have here is actually not on 2 setup, but in fact the wave 2 here that presumably bottom in John was never finished. Would that work? That would be the alternative, by the way. So if we break most imminent support on this 1 or 2 setup, I started on the 50 John. The larger structure a wave down at bat. This is a 5-way move, so I'm not happy with that. And then the wave, the C wave move down, right? Okay. We have this wave actually bottom on the 50 John. So little later, yeah, but it's great. No, as long as our imminent support level it is holding, I have no evidence for that. Just want to show you. This is an alternative because the market is extremely slow, and I can explain. I can always just repeat what I said before, because so far you know that the market is just playing out of our wave, and it has been doing that for a while. It can get boring if we just sort of repeat. Said before, I wanted to show you some alternative. So if the 70-30 level it breaks, then this will be my bullish alternative, and then the support area for John will become relevant. So all the way down to 50-34, most likely someone asked me before in the 50-50 or something, then you know what can I say, you know, if what if, right, what if well, I mean, that's why we manage risk, and we need to understand that this is a very much likely option, of course, right? I mean, there was always an alternative wave count, and we just need to understand that below $1,700 this is alternative is likely going to play. it is it is something I'm primarily the moment. No, it is something that could happen. Yeah, it is very likely at the moment, and it is less not unlikely. Yeah, it's certainly a value alternative. But again, as long as I don't see any evidence for that, it is just okay. I believe it is or I don't believe it. So we need to see the evidence. As long as we don't even get close to 1700, which is our the most imminent support on that, and no reason really to focus on too much. So worth knowing about as an alternative, but it is something I talk about before anyway, right? Because nobody know the future. That should be common sense. It's just that as long as we don't see anything that support, there will be a need to focus on. That is primarily, yeah, first of all, we are dealing with most imminent support. If that break, we'll deal with the alternative, and of course, to maybe prepare for it. You know, from a strategical point of view, leaving a trade a bit more space for a lower price. For example, thing like that, another alternative I wanted to show you while the market is boring is the idea that if this the scenario, so this that you need to be prepared for a scenario in which this wave, okay, might not even be finished. So nothing stopping the market from doing this. A wave, then a larger P wave in ABC, and then to come down in the C wave. So a wave high, B wave in, and a to start. Certainly something I will pay attention to exactly. And yeah, it is a possible option, okay? It is actually also not a likely option, but again, it is not really, I mean, against our primary scenario or anything, right? It would just mean that we see more chop. It would not be bearish again, right? It would just delay the breakout higher. It is something that I will think Ethereum is definitely capable of doing. And again, nobody knows if this is going to happen, right? It is not about predicting it is, or right now I can't really tell you this is going to happen, or no, there is no way you could say that. That would be likely definitely option. And you know, someone who say might be worried, but I think you know or not, whatever, it can happen. And again, what you cannot predict, you can manage with a tactic exactly, because of the potential scenario. I already started to scale into Ethereum farther into this setup. So in this scenario, don't get me wrong, this would our setup will work out, okay? So even though that phenomenal example, how forever example count in a different way, so how the setup come well know don't come around, how the setup that the wave count could be wrong, that we were primarily following, but you can still make money with it, okay? Because I have got the box on the chart in this scenario. The price is relying, and yeah, you can see. And if it failed to break out, you could still make money with our setup. Yeah, even though an actually different way count is playing out, because the price will still reverse in this area, and Yeah, different wave counts and possibility like hold, but I always go with that. I think it is more likely one, which at the moment. So breakout is likely to happen, something like that. We will get maybe a structure, absolutely possible. Still though, anybody who just follow the setup could scale in here, move up the stop loss while price moving is higher. It is failed to break some profit along the way, which is common that anyway always move up. And last you can see here buy back cheaper, just to give you an idea of a big of a fool. It is, isn't it easy, right? Trading isn't easy. You need to know that. You need to know the different scenarios that can be playing out, and I want to dedicate the live is a little bit too, because it is starting to get really boring, and you know it is really stubborn and doesn't really want to go much lower, but I still see it go lower. It should really go lower, or we're dealing what structure is not into telling me at this stage that wouldn't go lower. So I'm still focusing on the primarily, but it is always worth knowing about the different scenario. And here, a very short term looking at our primary scenario, where we see this is a 1 or 2 setup. As I said, as a long we are holding a 1700, and I will higher, and ideally the next rally will be that third wave breakout, even though something different could play out. As I just show you, the setup will still allow you to make money even it is different wave coin in the end place. And what else I lost? And I lost uh no, I forgot about it, and I don't know. I might remember. I might remember it later. So yeah, I just so start to rally, okay, and taking profit along the way is never better. I remember again. So what I want to highlight here is that of course something different could be play out, and I'm preaching about that in every live, right? The uncertainty preach about everything. By the way, so a lot of bear are telling of the bearish scenario could play out and certainly can, okay? But if I was telling you, we're definitely are going to come down and go back to whatever $1,000 or something, or even new bear market. So but we're actually in a bearish setup, wouldn't be responsible. Instead, I'm showing you my preferred scenario. It is a scenario where we rely in 5 wave. It is an impulse. We are coming back in corrective way into support, and it is a value setup. I'm also going to tell you the level of cross that would tell me I'm wrong. That is basically here the $1,700, the level, okay? So I focus on right here. There are a few scenarios how it could play. You know how this could overall play out, and I show you a few things. The bottom line is we needed to lead the trade, so needed to be prepared for wave count change, because we are in a choppy environment. We just below resistance, which is here to 1 or 2,000 or 40. So it will be naturally hard to get through. It could rarely still come down in the case that setup will still work on, but it is always worth adjusting stop loss or taking profit along the way, and just to embarrass uncertainty, especially as we haven't got an established trend. It is difficult. We are in an uptrend at the moment, yeah, but the altcoin market still look very much, it is in poor state. Bitcoin, Ethereum look decent, but Ethereum really need to break out or it will get very very difficult eventually, as I show. Yeah, we have too many or one or two setup now, and so yeah, I always following the chart. I always keep you update. If anything change, then I will let you know, to be honest. In recent week, days has changed. It just too long, took long, play out. But so far, I think the forecast have played out in the nice way. Of course, I can always focus on the forecast every single subway, but I'm not trying to. I would never try to. I will never try to make that. So this is about Ethereum, and let's take a look to the Bitcoin chart. So Bitcoin is still currently forming the symmetrical triangle pattern right here. So really based on two factors, or the fact we have significant higher low and higher high here on the larger time frame. Obviously that would technically what a bullish trend is on top of that. If you're looking at the actually super trend indicator, which historically speaking has been very accurate here on the larger time frame, as of right now this is still currently sitting in the green, which once again has been the case since pretty much the very beginning this month, indicating a larger bullish trend playing out. And so essentially this is completely opposite to what we saw during 2022, which was obviously a bear market. And in case you're wondering, the point of invalidation for this indicator. Basically, the point where was indicator would flip in from back to the point invalidation sitting at around 25,000 approximately. So basically, if we see a confirmed breakback below at around 25,000, with ideally at least for a 4-day candle close, but ideally a weekly candle close back below, and 25,000, and that case will actually have a confirmed trend reversal. When you're talking about the larger trend at play, so once again, at least for now, we are still looking at the bullish larger time frame. You're into the, this is not into the daily chart. I've been saying almost every day the last 2 weeks, so have an active bearish divergence currently playing out in the somewhat shorter term. Here on top of that, we are obviously playing out a bit of a rejection from this point. So basically, as I have said being recently on the channel, we should not really be expecting a lot of bullish momentum in just the short term. We're likely going to see either some choppy sideways price action. It is not some slight bearish price asset action like what we have seen over the last 1 or 2 weeks as expected. And if you're not looking at the momentum key in the daily Bitcoin, MAC as of right now, we're actually not seeing a lot of momentum, which basically mean right now we don't know have a significant direction here in the short term. We really need to be expecting a significant movement, at least in the short term, coming soon. And so, if you zoom into the 4-hour chart, Fibonacci retracement tool, too low to swing high, a Fibonacci level sitting at around 28.9. If the level actually break down, we'll still need to have this 50 retracement level acting as a support close to the 28,000 to 28.1k. Right below that, we have the important golden pocket area on support with between at around $27,000 to 27.2k. And as for resistance, based on the Fibonacci level, so we could find some resistance at around $30,000. And now, the time frame, taking a look at the chart, 8-hour chart, a 4-hour chart, and the price of Bitcoin is still technically playing out. This is previous bear flag pattern, where we have not actually invalidated. This is previous bear flag pattern, and because as always, in order to invalidate this previous pattern, invalidate the bearish price target, which by the way is sitting at around 28.5k, and in order to invalidate the price target, we will need to see a confirmed breakback above at around 29.7k. But it also important to understand that between the price of technical price target, so downside, we still have the level of support sitting at around 28.9k, but we do end up seeing a confirmed breakout back above this level of resistance at around 29.7k. Then in that case, we again would invalidate this previous pattern. This is technically price target, but we will still have this level of resistance sitting at around 30.4k approximately. And now just taking a look to the 1-hour Bitcoin. Triangle pattern, and so yeah, shortly turn coming hour, maybe over there one day, we're looking relatively neutral while the price is still trading in this target. But the moment we see a confirmed breakout either above and this resistance or below this support level, that could potentially set up their next technical price target and the next volatile, at least in the shorter term. Here, in case you're wondering, this level of resistance is currently sitting at around 29.3k to 29.4k. So ideally, to break bullish, we will need to see a breakout above around 29.4k. But this level of support is sitting at around 29.1 to 29.2. So ideally, we need to see a break below at around 29.1k in order to confirm a break to the downside. And now if we do end up seeing a confirmed breakout above that level of resistance that I just mentioned, that will set up a technical price target at around 29.8k. But if we end up seeing a confirmed break below that level of support, then that will technically price target at around 28.7k. So either the wave we are looking at around 2% move in the price of Bitcoin wave, whether we break this support or we still have a limited momentum in the short term. So I will not exactly expect a massive move here on the daily time frame. This is the 1-hour time frame, and we're going to check about the daily time frame. Short term move, if we break out, if this short term level is obviously significant if you're zooming out in the larger time frame. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of the slide, if day 50 to dollar chart, and right now the price Ethereum is still trading above this important support between 7070 and 8020 for the daily Ethereum price oscillator. As of right now, these are still looking very neutral, showing every lower momentum that leads in string time here. So once again, saying recently on the channel, it is unlikely we're going to see a significant movement, at least in the short term. Instead, we are likely going to see relatively mild price action, as in most likely to see some choppy sideways price action, which is exactly what we have been talking over the last 1 week as expected. And now if you're zooming into the 4-hour chart right now, obviously the Ethereum is still trading below this previous ascending line on support, which is now acting as a new resistance, and that is currently sitting at just above. So bounce continue to the upside, expect some resistance at around that area of frame. Looking at the Fibonacci level over there, last one day we potentially started to see a bit of a breakdown above this Fibonacci level, which was alongside as a bit of resistance sitting at around $80-70, and so that next resistance upside to pay attention. First of all, that resistance at around 9010. So we also have this resistance at around 1930 as of supported. If we drop back to the downside, I will expect a support promisingly, and below that level here, the golden pocket area of support in between. So now if you zoom into the chart, above the descending line on the resistance, which was sitting at around 8070, and if just recently we can see now potentially confirmed is a few new support back literally. Somehow more information actually further confirm this successful retreat, with ideally and further bounce back above this previous high, or at least confirming more green candle close to essential, confirm that we do have a proper bounce from this level at around 8070, and if that happens, if we further confirm this retest with a further bounce, just like that, then in that case we'll set up technical price target, so upside which is sitting at around 9030. So from that point off to break to that price target, we are looking at around 3% move to the upside to the price target. That's still close to the 3% move to the upside. And validation for technical price target will simply be a break back to below at around 8070. If we see a confirmed break back below that level, then once again that would actually invalidate this symmetrical triangle pattern and invalidate the breakout and the price target. So at least for now, yes, just in the minimum short term, we are starting to see that price of each to flick a little bit more again. But with that being said, once again said it earlier, we still have the lower momentum, at least in the short term. So I would not exactly expect a significant movement over here to make a lot of money in the crypto if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply around is like it is right now, to make sure to they're gonna go up. So let's go about the Bitcoin news. So here to tell you that the missing point, the market here, ladies and gentlemen, we are not even gonna go into the short 10 chart right now because the first thing that I want to cover with you guys, I want the longer term trend that will be actually see developing right here. I was actually to the MGS crypto today. I'm out here. It's just been hanging out, waiting for the last few day week. And me today, which is actually really interesting, and it is the market right now. It is almost a phase that look a little bit like this right here. So COVID crash, of course, is subsequent recovery on March 22, actually very much along. So, you guys about today as well, which is the even despite this little drop. So, even knowing that this happened, what I'm about to say invalidate actually we we might make my point stronger, but it is really gloss for now than to pretend the only price action will actually have has been there. Then really we have breakdown. If you trust me, because you know you gotta trust your boy. It's a good stuff. Also a little bit like later, you know, we had to be a big crash. You know, overall on the micro scale weekly chart, for example, you know, it was relevant, to be honest, even the weekend where you know a lag had recovery here. Then you know what kind of final big drop also interesting. Those of you guys that love a live wave, this is a perfect wave to impulse wave here, and there's something to be said about that for a second because that's really interesting as we know it. We study a light wave. One is gonna look something good, but this wave 3 next big that actually continue the trend wave. There is always the bigger one, and then we have the final kind of drop down. So a very nicely found a light wave, and by the way, that actually typically if you are sticking with elite wave theory that you're gonna see an ABC somewhere and you know this is the problem with elite rate is the reason almost never talk about it because it is actually very too subjective the way to the how defender it probably you guys that use it probably but have different analysts to that's why you're wrong most of the time too. But anyway, different days it is just the real life guy. I mean, I think it is amazing way to do analysis. But I place that most of that in my experience. If you just don't find the right time, I play for it is way too subjective and off time getting something a little bit like this and we're already done and you know obviously I think more likely potentially potentially this is a 42 guy even though that those kind of something far reaching for me Bitcoin right now and you know getting there and then Something I little bit is not to really scare a lot of people, as we know. If you have been watching my live for the past days, I have kind of told you guys that actually when Bitcoin starts a 40 correction, that is typically where you're acting going to be a situation where people are gonna got too scared, they're gonna panic, sell their Bitcoin, and just where it is enough, it is not gonna that where we are going to sit. So market especially bullish environment, which we are kind of right now, but it is just generally speaking. So what you know about bad then is actually data so that you can actually mean I just to make your life easy, but because for this is my you have a little bit a longer but I memorize this chart because you know that DLIE sleep breathe a Bitcoin that has gotta be a one of the modern of this channel. Look at the 40 this wave in 2017. This is where actually may know if this you have been for a while. This is actually the panic so Bitcoin, and I bought Bitcoin so $2,000 if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around before, but the first kind I buy was around here. So basically right at the bottom, and then I bought back right here. So trust me when I say, guys, you have I made every mistake 10 times more than you have even dreamed making those mistakes. It is true. Really have been the most degenerate, disgusting, pathetic trader and ever. And actually, because the NFT guys may have actually taught me that being pretty bad, and that's why I speak so much passion. But we got another 40% that is take something and correction. But still 30 kind of that range. So this 40 drop. Attention to that here, another where it is 32, and another right here, and this is because 36. So how much is this range? And another one, this one, 40. If mistaken, just close. Very very normal. Here another 39. So you know that I'm giving you an idea here. I'm talking the market, and this is really important because of course we need to do as a trader, and you guys know I'm going to get to the kind of more micro analyst, and you guys know that you come to YouTube to analyze. I'm a directive trader. I'm actually trading this market, as you guys know, on the USK platform. By the way, I don't think there is an update in the description yet, but I needed to fact check this again. So just one more time, check this again, just one more time. You're actually over 100,000 in bounce with being Trust right now. The link is in the description. So this is the most up to description. Obviously, go ahead and check out the Trust. It is a platform that allows you to trade stock, forex, and not forex, indices, like investing. So the point is, guys, you're not just an analyst, also a trading. And being a trader means that you learn what realistic movement look like. A lot of people don't even know what a realistic market movement like. They can't imagine if in their eye there is a staircase, heaven, or waterfall doing that and between. But obviously we know that then the further from the truth. So you actually quit completing trying to be a keeping in mind option. It is what it is realistic pullback look like what we have. They look like in the past. I'm gonna happen the same time in the future. Maybe not bad. The best information. We have a historical, technical analyst. So here I am. That's why you are here as well. No, where the thing that really interesting. We need this drop down, big drop down with a beautiful elite wave. And if you know, I mean, it is on the market definition, bear market. I mean, this happened. This has been, many people that I know who have been in this space for 10 years more told me that this is the worst bear market they have even seen. So the space for 10 years or more and told me that this is the worst bear market they have ever seen, which I think haven't, I only since 2017, but I feel like they are angering, I feel like it is just perhaps in the past people didn't really care that much, but the fact it is, the crypto market, despite everyone telling you, where are Ellie, bro, Jasmine, I'm here. Let's stop this narrative, losing people money, and it's getting people into trap. You are not early. That's why. That is why you are not too late to either important note. But that's why this bad market has been really, really distracted because it happened at a time where actually was an institutional market here. Was a lot of people, basically everybody really know. I know that I want to do buy a crypto, buy a crypto during the 21, 22 bull realize, and obviously we saw how that went for every day. In the perspective, this is the beginning of 2022. This is the end, the entire year where many, it was a pretty betrayal, a lot of time what with kind of bear market realized you have some relief there wasn't really of that over here. So it was a quite brutal again. So what happened with Corvette and it's the price we were different all day long, but the fact is this was a big deal. Right now, Bitcoin had a really good chance continue telling relying on bad because of a black swan event that nobody could have a see come into the market actually crash with 30 day within the last month. And okay, if you have a got 100 grand in Bitcoin, you're now down to the 37K within less than a month. That's the level of financial loss, and that only people in countries like Zimbabwe, Venezuela, or Lebanon, or Turkey, and only people in these countries have and actually experienced this loss. But we had in crypto, and it is normal. We had this kind of step regularly, but this one was a big deal. Again, this is really, really interesting. That's why everybody, including me, by the way, I was a nurser in this range. This is actually one time around, everybody, when, yeah, but this not really going to work out way we are gonna drop back that I know now. By the way, it is really stupid that I didn't believe it, but yeah, I just got things wrong sometime. I know it is surprised me too. And obviously, and also, so we are doing was consolidating at the top, and everybody was still super bearish after major market crash and major recovery, and we were just kind of start consolidating. And the thing, and I learned my mistake. This is what I a lot of don't one of that thing that we really need to keep in mind, that you're a pre-existing bullish trend on bearish, and you have been consolidating really during time, guys. If you got to the breakout, the longer you explode it and the more you break out could actually be. There are no guarantee here. There are no strict correlation where one must happen like the other, but I don't know. Tell me about it. What happened after this bit of consolidating, and yes, we are still at around a couple of months, and I did take a couple of six. So kind of really going well. You know, one merry month within, you know, that lose the price pullback like a 6-7 time game. You know, really a 7 time game and half-time gain, you know, within the 260 days. So, you know, big consolidating. Yeah, it is a good thing. It is the most definitely a good thing through our expectation, you know. But there are more times that prove the rule here. We are in a bear market. We are trending down. We are punching a lot in lower high constantly across an entire year. It couldn't be more obvious. That is why at the end I one shot as well. The market stop at low and can tell because it is because consolidating for so long, and I mean for so long that 6K could not be broken. Look at this, and you're starting to jump already. You gotta get this cannot be a broken for an actually 6K could be broken since November 2017. If we go to the back to the year, we very literally just lying down at the 6K not doing anything. That is a lot of consolidating, and this is a lot of infamous. But on one level, 30K really ringing some bell right now, and of course the result is the price have. Cause the result is the price minus 50%. That is a bit dear, and you know how long that took. Took a month. So you know, and that's after Bitcoin already crashed by 68%. And the crash about 50 on top, then for a total loss of 84. But this predicted, we are understand very clearly that more and more consolidating, more means, and bigger breakout. So let's come back to the present day, where we have been consolidating for, again, we're ignoring this little bit of price action here. It has been one. We had cut this out, and it's been 100 day of raw. We have been a few raw consolidation. At a market top of major resistance took at this blue line, at this line. Current prices are major resistance. This is the level that we were finding support of massively. That's the number one. Like we got a big bounce of it. We strongly validate the line. How did you validate the line? You got big reaction number on your get reaction across the long term. Number two, 514 days, even longer than that. The support level had significant weight in the market. What was it actually just measured in all the way back 522 days. This market has significant over the market, that this level has significant over the market. big draw, and what happened when we lost the level up, big drop. Here on support we have the lose a big draw. You know, when we collapse below the support level, that everything we need to know all about significant this area of resistance support is we have been consolidation here. Now look, I'm trying to put any crazy idea out there. I'm really not bad. If you're a technical analyst and if you are think that market expect similar to characteristics across time, if you think the axis typically trend to the up express the same kind of characteristic and different flavor. So they're writing that even then the case you do because you are here, then this is gonna look like an interesting opportunity to you. I'm not saying we are breaking out. I'm not saying we're going to add 35K to 30K to 69K. I'm not saying we're getting back model in center. We are not there yet. We are not this yet. Right now, we are stuck in the road. Shout out to the road. Hope they are doing okay. With the fire, you know, we are sticking the Greek island right now. We are not at the level yet. We are not on the excited. But what I'm saying is, hey, there might be something here. You know, we've been consolidating at a height for a long time, and you just know, you just got to ask the question: why had the market not sent us down yet at the resistance level, right? What do you do? What happened when rejected? We actually made my point even stronger than the 25K. This things before we even got back and watched my previous slide. This is the 25,000 level. Has been a very important area. Resistance when we are below it, but it was an important at 30K. We knew that 25K level is important, but it wasn't as important as 30K. So what happened? We got rejected of 30K, and we came back down to 25K to 25.25K. Is not an important level compared to 30K, and we still bounce off that. That's why I said that this trend my point, you know, that what will have been a strong area of support is 20K to $20,000. $20,000 is a big round number, and it was the bear market, high bull market, and 2017. 20K is an anchorage in our mind. 25, not really the big of a deal yet. The market, after hitting arguably the formidable, most dangerous, most heavy area or resistant that it has a potentially ever had. I mean, like, I have been seeing this bearish develop of these last few days and few weeks, and the develop that bearish have so many good response to be a bearish. I actually agree with them in a lot of case, you know, but at the same time, the long short ratio by the weight is too bullish, right? Now it is too bullish. Too many people are going long right now, so you know that the longest short ratio doesn't even support this. But at the end of the day, what we are seeing here in the market, it is abundantly clear we are at the high, and we are not getting rejected. We are staying up. We are consolidating. Now, what happens when you keep on knowing and knocking the door is that eventually, if you are knocking in enough time, look at this. Look at this. Look at this 30K right here, and Gonna point to that hangout. Let me do and show you real quick here. It's a band right here. Then we back to the. Look at this. It's a remove. I remember that 3 or 4 or 5, 6 attempt at the support area. When we fell down, there was here in the summer of 2021, and the top, and that on top of all the attempt right here is 6 attempt on support. Then over here, 1 or 2, 3, 4 attempt at the 30K area. Yeah, we are more or less in the same thing. You understand my point? The more time we hit an area of support or resistance, typically the more likely it is to break. It is just, and it got successive, like sometime, or our resistance support area are too strong, like 30K, so it is really hard to break sometimes. They are not knowing strong at all. $44,000, $45,000. We have fell below it in January 2022, at very beginning of 2022 attempt. Too wide are my arrows gone. Let me put them back 1 sec. Attempt 1 or 2. And successfully, but it is the deviation kind of like not the same. It does break out above the line, and that my point is that the more we test this level, the break, and that is going to depend on how strong are that level. Well, we know that 30K is incredibly strong, so we are not expecting to be break quickly. We are not expecting a break without a fight, but here the fight we had we're getting so far. We hit $30,000. This is a really deep dive, guys. If you are appreciating this every interaction, give me with this a lot of every time I change that, I'm giving you huge bounces. You are getting free cash. You are getting free money that you can trade with, and you are also supporting that and much appreciated. We first hit a $30,000 level, was a rapid with 8 days and 12%, and drop what had happened the next time. Look at this, and 3 week. So I'm interested in it. I want to be between the line. I want to do the analysis that nobody else is doing. Now I'm not trying to myself. I'm not pulling out astrology or all the other crazies that some trader in this space do, which I think is really cool. But it will like read this star and understand Bitcoin, obviously. So but for me, I'm keeping a logical, a very rooted in understanding human psychology. What I'm seeing right here, you all tell me if I'm wrong in the comment. Is this the first time we hit 30K since we fell below it? Which, by the way, this gap was like 10 months. I can do the math on the first time we hit 30K in a month, and we got a quickly rejection. I mean, yeah, it was slow, but it has happened. That recreation started quickly. At the second time, we couldn't get rejected. The bear couldn't send us down for 3 whole weeks, and then they didn't send here. What happened? We can zoom in even closer. It taken the bear 2 weeks to drop us down by 8%. What happened here? We fell down by 12. You're like, it is a very, very, it is so obvious. It is so obvious that The market right now, this is the stronger than the market has back in April. It is stronger because it's been a consolidating. Here it is stronger because the bulls are no, the bears how the bears know the bears know the bears do not have enough strength to trick them to take market down. I'm sitting here trying to be a objective as possible. Obviously, be bearing in mind that I love Bitcoin and I love this investment, and whatever I'm trying to be as objective as possible. I can see that we have been at a critical area of resistance, and the market when so Bitcoin are double of this price level when we below this level within the less than a week. We fell down by 40. That's why I'm seeing. I'm sorry, this wrong level. No, this is the correct level. We fell down by 40 5 day. Okay, when we fell below 30K, that's the level we are dealing with. We are dealing with a level that can cause Bitcoin price to double within 3 weeks or to half within less than a week. And right now, exactly, silence. So this is what's happening in Bitcoin. So after Bitcoin, let's take a look to the Ethereum. So we're going to see the end of the week, and it was the end of the weekly candle. We see a little bit of action last Sunday, and it was when Ethereum railed into this resistance. So in the support area, even though you're not, price is trying to climb higher again in a subsequent, but you can consider it a little bit away potentially. I mean it is not invalidated. It goes a little higher or anything, but it is overlapping price action. Look corrected, and at the moment I just don't have a evidence. And bottom and the yellow support area, which is honestly it is having a happy. We could then look forward to a really third way. Do we all expect a third way? Are we really to start on a Sunday? Don't but could be. I mean, again, no crystal ball. Here, all we do is to lay out there relevant area that per meter where price can turn around for a third wave. Really, it is bounce here, and it is quite large. This bounce, but again, normally I would like to see it come down to 8028. Okay, so at least so this is just sort of for info here. This is a part because we often see a wave react to this support area, the 38.2 flip level, and here that a wave or this correction of this ABC correction in a wave 2 that react to the 38.2 flip level at 8075. So you often see that there. That is why I like to add it, because some people like to trade a bit, they like to add a position at 38.2 flip level, and I added to a position. I think it was last week or this week when we enter here, this area down here. So I'm happy, uh, and from my point of view, I can turn it around anytime, but I don't think the market is ready yet. I think it it is not finished with its correction. The corrective structure to the downside look fairly incomplete. Look like they would like to have at least one more low. Ideally, remember when we came down here into this point, which is back into the John expected when Moto we didn't get the last one, but at least we were sort of with a situation where I said, look, now the look could be in either of turning it around. I'm not quite ready here yet. I'm think one or two model it should be taking place. So at least one I would like to see. Where price can turn around at any time, the micro count doesn't allow us to yet understand that it has bottomed. So there is really no evidence that we will have a lasting low in place. As soon as I see on, I will make you wait anyway. So, however, please understand that before have such an evidence, price might have already proved. Okay, price map have also moved, so this is the area where price would turn around to rally in the third wave. I know it is the same. It is going to be a workout, and there's never a guarantee. You never know a guarantee a certain setup. This is going to work out now. I think we're quiet good. With the previous one, that especially the long term one that we had on the Ethereum chart, the one that we had back, because we pretty much captured. Then also, if it did turn around a little bit earlier, I don't think it would be a problem, because I mean here, yeah, and on a lot of this previous entry point provide a really profitable entries for a potentially a nice blue run. If it is a bit early, it is sometimes what happened, especially because we're dealing with a lower degree wave here on, yeah, these were larger degree setup, larger degree support area. So I think we have set up a really good foundation in this a bull market, and even so in this bear market, and even if this is setup fail, and yeah, we had a lower. I mean, they were still good entry. They were still really good buying the dip opportunity in a overall uptrend. But yeah, at the moment, I mean, I have no evidence that let's say the bear market is set to continue here on the each chart. I will have the first price of evidence. When price break below 7000, and because then it break below 78.6 retracement, and this setup may feel well that is a break bullish case. So we talked about that in previous video, so previous slide. So whenever the time to still, ideally it is going to turn around somewhere, and here I think it was a good possibility to do it, because in the move down, so very choppy and corrective way holding sort of round, and this trend line, yes, we have a potential break of the trend line, but do we trust break of that? So So as a confirmation highlighted, yesterday, that is not really meaningful. This is push to the upside, and that's not yet. And today we already see a bit of sell off. So it's just corrective. It's just too much, too much overlapping price action. Let's see if throughout the day we see here something more bullish, but I am a bit skeptical. I think we are still heading down lower. The next one larger support cluster, I see this is around 8030, and if we break through, we have a should I get to sort or 7080 at the moment from what I can see, and from the portion I see of this chart of the microwave and microwave at the nanowave at the micro degree. I don't think we shouldn't get too close to the 70,000, 700. What I could imagine is that we got to 780, maybe with a week below to the test trend line here. Be, Besides that, nothing has changed. So in the weekly candle close back, if the if goes it goes higher, I need to take out 9006. So this way too high to make and consider a wave con change. Yeah, the update about like the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you really like the live. And please check out the other live on the channel. So this is about the Ethereum. What is happening? You can see right here. I've been saying this is what is happening. So back to the Bitcoin again. Double the upside now. It is started like unchanged. You made a high, made a lower, less of little moving toward upside hitting the target. So I do have a count now, but I will still show them in the second. But yesterday I didn't show a particular count of this range. The main reason being that you can also use your a live video or a live wave, so reprice, really knowing the exactly what is going on to the lower time frame, because this is over here a expanding structure. Now you don't have to work exactly going on inside. This is expanding structure, but the Fed is expanding. The probability of this being a five-way move, because a five-way move and then being a expanding diagonal is very rare. So probability are not on the side for this to be a five-way move to the upside. Instead, the probability are higher. This is a three-way move to the upside, and we don't have to know what kind of three-way. So move per C, but at least the probability are higher for a this wave was finished. We then expect a continuation to the downside in a wave or 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5 lower price to the continue to the trend. We then have a however price move up toward the upside over here. So communication down to the downside in positive structure. So because we know have a three wave over here. So expect the range to communicating stream. We are thinking being a potential wave followed by an either a flat. This is the wave, another wave. So inside the wave, communication, continuation to the upside. So that's why we are looking for another low in the bulk of the scenario, where upside here in the flat, or we want to see a three-way for then to the upside. And if we take to the count chart, this is what I have more bearish scenario, because eventually we expect after downside is the scenario to move the upside a label then as a wave I have in the middle, or because you can see have either. So over here it doesn't really for the result, because I expect a big move to the upside. If you have as a zigzag into the common also for a use or put wave here on the left side. That happen it is that we are looking for a flat. So you don't have a three-way taking the low overhead, then a five-way move to the upside. Now if we look at this flat scenario, we take a flip from the low onto the high of the right because we want to know the low or B. So this flip back in on the 5 target, then you can see that 105 has been in, which is the minimum target for an expanding flat wave, and you're going to be looking for toward the upside. The 105 is a rare target, but it is a target, not less. And also, it is a rare target key to be finished over here, and then more complete structure. So, so trade safe those our put in our way of the vertically line like to do it, then use it as a alarm, then hide in goes off. So I know here you know news coming. So finally, then the probability of two scenario what I'm showing on the micro time frame. First of all, the bearish one is explain this look like three-way structure because expanding. Therefore, the probability are higher for the scenario. So I don't like to see a bit of move to the upside. The triple top that we have to the downside compared to the bullish scenario, because in the five-way structure, but it is the expanding dino which is extremely rare. So therefore, probability are higher for the bearish. So I hope this live was valuable to you. Please, most recent educational about the fast trading indicator. You can know for watching and subscribing. Thank you, guys, for watching my live every day. Today we have talked about Bitcoin and Ethereum. As usual, specifically telling about what's happening on the Bitcoin and Ethereum, how's it going in the chart. If you guys like the if you guys like the live, make sure you subscribe to the channel and give a thumbs up to the live. Thank you for watching my live for every day. If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe. So today live is over. We're gonna talk about later and just tomorrow. So